Hey, how's it going? Roby here. Welcome back to the channel. Today on wrist, I have the Omega Speedmaster 125. That's because we're going to be discussing another very special Speedmaster. With today's video, we're starting a new series called Take 2. In that series, we're going to examine vintage and pre-owned timepieces that we think deserve a second look. What better way to start than with the Omega Speedmaster CK2998 from 1959, otherwise known as the first Omega in space, and a watch that was iterated upon by the brand itself earlier this year. The original watch was powered by the Calibre 321, which of course is the inspiration behind my Instagram handle. And although I wish that this watch were mine, it isn't. It belongs to a friend, Sam, at Gem Bijou. So if you're ever in the Toronto area and looking for a watch, be sure to check him out. So huge thanks to Sam, again, for allowing me to spend some time with this wonderful piece. And speaking of time, let's not waste any more. Have a closer look.
In 1959, Omega replaced the Speedmaster CK2915-3 with the CK2998. While this new reference would not be qualified by NASA or walk on the moon, it would become the first Omega in space. Wally Shirra would have it on his wrist during the Sigma 7 mission in October of 1962. Many view the CK2998 as the holy grail of Omega Speedmasters for this reason. Between 1959 and 1962, there would be several different iterations of the CK2998, designated by a hyphenated numeral after the reference number. Largely similar, these watches differed mainly in configurations of the hands, the bezel insert, and the typeface used in the brand name. The CK2998-1, for instance, uses an oval-shaped O that was later replaced with a rounder version found in the CK2998-2. Both, however, employed a black insert with a printed base 1000 tachometer scale, while later versions employed the base 500, or in the FAP versions sent to the Peruvian Air Force, a telemeter scale. This is all before the Speedmaster Professional designation in 1965 and the subsequent Moonwatch nickname, and yet the DNA of that later watch is clearly present in the CK2998. Some of the main differences occur in elements like the leaf handset, rather than the batons of the Moonwatch. The subdials, while similarly recessed, also don't contain the concentric azurage we find in the Moonwatch. Neither do we find a sector-style bevel in the chapter ring. Both share an applied logo, but the word professional is of course absent from the dial of the CK2998. As we move outward, the tachometer scale, as previously mentioned, is a base 1000 rather than 500, though it is black, even if today it can appear slightly blue or purple in its patina. The pump pushers and crown look familiar, but the case itself is quite different. In fact, the CK2998 looks a lot more like its predecessor, the CK2915 in this respect, with its long, straight lugs. And the case back, which is screwed down, contains a single bevel in the telltale hippocampus under which we find the Omega symbol. This watch, like the first Speedmaster Professionals, runs the Calibre 321, which of course is the name of my Instagram account, and part of why this encounter is so special to me. Frankly, this watch, even without its storied history, is so compelling. It is shockingly light in comparison to modern Speedmasters, and its bracelet is so slender, one might even say delicate. The Hesse-like crystal has such a warmth and is constantly catching beautiful gradient reflections. Of course, age has also helped here with a tropicalized gray dial and faded beat-up bezel, which only adds character. Or those patinaed markers in their coffee-colored perfection. Do you own a Speedmaster? Do you own the CK2998? We'd love to hear your stories in the comments section below. And until next time, thanks for listening.